and welcome to FCTV's Poetic License. This is October 2024 edition. It's an open mic where we share live original poetry, prose, and acoustic music. My name is Donna Shear, and I am so happy to be here tonight. The suggested theme for tonight is mystery. It is the month of October, so we do have that. I want to talk just for a minute about something that's going to be happening at FCTV that's never happened before. This is the poster. It's called Paws, Claws, and What Have You. Okay? This is calling all critter lovers, pet owners, and nature enthusiasts. We're inviting artists and craftspeople of all ages and skill levels to submit artwork depicting favorite animals for a diverse exhibition of animal-inspired art. Wild, domestic, imaginary, and beyond, all mediums considered. And it will be up in the gallery here at FCTV, January through February of 2025. They are starting to take submissions, but you need to go to fctv.org because there's all kinds of information on the website that'll tell you how to submit and what they're looking for. I'm so excited as a former kindergarten teacher. I love seeing kids' art as well as grown-up art comes into the gallery. I also wanted to say that FCTV is hosting PSA Days in the month of November. So Falmouth Community Television hosting PSA Days at the Falmouth Community Media Center throughout November for any nonprofit organization that would like to videotape a short public service announcement produced by FCTV. So if you're interested in something like that, please contact FCTV. And again, all on fctv.org, you can get all the information you need about that. If you want to become a member of FCTV, which is a nonprofit organization that does so many wonderful things, I strongly, strongly encourage you to become a member. That's the easiest way to begin to support FCTV. It's only $35 a year for a single membership. You get a card that gives you a 10% discount at a lot of places in town. Okay, and now on with the show. Hello, performers. It's so lovely to see you all. I'm going to introduce you by name when it's your turn. Please repeat your name before you can begin. I'll start it off. I haven't been here for a while because I had a bad accident on August 2nd. And my first poem that I'm going to read is about how I was feeling before I had the accident, which is why I had the accident. And it's called Supernova. Supernova. From the black hole of slumber, I explode into day, embracing the glorious glare, powered by thank you and by your lovely leave. Everywhere I look, in books on the greenness of leafage, through dapple more golden than the sunny ingots, by the kindness kindled in brothers and sisters, and oh, the calligraphy pen, feather-dipped silver, singing compositions coupled and curled on my flaming tongue. As I whirl, I become a mirror ball, flaring, flinging diamond drops off the tips of my Buddha fingers. Don't try to stop this midsummer madness unless you're prepared to shine with me. And that's the poem that happened the day before. I went running. I was so full of energy and golden ingots and Buddha fingers dripping gold. And I was whirling and I was cleaning the house. And I tripped over a wire that was going across the rug and smashed. Yes, I see there's a wire there. I smashed my shoulder, which had to be totally replaced. So my second poem is called Ode to My Left Hand. And the ode is not spelled O-D-E, it's spelled O-W-E-D. I've spent a lifetime ignoring my left arm. After the fall, it became my workhorse, a wearer of battle stripes and medical scars. Tireless warrior, you take it in the arm, needle after needle, vial after vial. You grasp the cane, wipe the bum, wield the spoon, push the pen to limited legibility. You sweat and tremble over spatial relations, leap over commands. What is up or might be down? You lead the charge to new neural pathways. How unfair is this world that favors right-handedness? Left arm, I applaud you. I applaud you with the sound of one hand clapping. Thank you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Elaine Robinson, who's coming on up to show us her stuff.
I am Elaine Robinson, and I have 4 fantasy poems. I seem to be chased by mermaids, so we're going to start with another mermaid poem. A mermaid and her sea monster. A mermaid with flowing hair swims around. He is there, so sharp, near the reef. She shivers with fright. He is quite the sight. The toothy smile is wide, but he is laughing inside. Their thoughts intertwine. He is her friend for all time. Swimming beside his sea girl, a mermaid protector unfurls. She is a gentle companion. He is her watery champion. Another common theme that I can't seem to get away from is dragons. So I have 2 poems about dragons. The first one is The Dragon of Autumn. A whirl of wind gathers red, orange, green leaves, forming a creature of the colorful season. He is the dragon of autumn. His breath is cool air that draws the many to marvel at the beauty of a changing season. Pumpkins smile at his arrival, while children consume cinnamon donuts. Often he whispers in the wind as leaves float around him. When the whiteness of winter appears, he fades into chilly air as leaf by leaf kisses the frozen ground. His voice still whispers in the wind. He will come back at the next red, orange, yellow season. Cardinals sing to him to keep him company. He listens, observes, the dragon of autumn. Our next dragon is Dragon Philosopher. Scaly and fire-breathing, his breath forms yellow and orange smoke. While editing a manuscript questioning origins of reptilian life and customs. His reality of a world filled with flying creatures who seek out human prey for obliteration and consumption. A fiery soul who examines motives and reasons. Humans are not sumptuous to his palate. Devouring the frail beings is not on his agenda. So he studies and writes, publishing books read by dragon scholars who admire his thesis, but laugh at his predatory refrain while scales and wings soar across dark skies, emitting smoke and fire upon a captive planet. In the past, I've had poems and some stories about Bigfoot. So I feel it's only fair that the Loch Ness Monster get equal time, right? So this is Whiskers and his git fiddle. A flipper strums gently the strings on his guitar. An owl hoots in merriment. Moon's golden glow encompasses a prehistoric plesiosaur who lounges on the lake's shore. Shadows reflect his whiskers. Musical notes travel amongst forest trees. Evening sounds float around this beastie as the git fiddle emits melody. Ancientness in the present gives voice until he dives into a cool, watery home.
Elaine, thank you so much. I love the mermaid poem, but I especially love the Dragons of Autumn because of all the different colors that you had in there. It was beautiful. And the philosopher, no eating humans. That's a great take on it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. And Sue Beth Carlson, my sister in Woodland Fairiness and Princess Fairiness. Come on up, my dear.
Okay, I have one poem and something I'd like to tell you about. So, because you can't see the poem, I'd like to use my poetic license to point out some homonyms that are in it. I'm going to tell you about them before I read it. But first, let's talk about homonyms. Anybody know what a homonym is? I knew you would know. A homophone sounds the same but looks different. A homograph looks the same but can sound different or mean different things. Homophones and homographs are homonyms. You got it? In this poem, there are two double entendre in sound, or homophones. Sea is spelled S-E-E, but sounds like the ocean. And planks sound like boards on the boat, but the spelling is P-L-A-N-C-K''S, as in Max Planck and quantum energy theory about how all is energetically connected. There's also a double entendre in meaning, or a homograph. The word might at the end of the poem could mean openness to what the journey might offer, or it could mean the strength, the power in the journey versus the goal, the prize, or the destination. So here we go. In granting a wish, oh, by the way, I'm the fairy of peace and hope, in case you didn't know that already. In granting a wish, I recently gave a gift, a book about the history of the America's Cup. My inscription led to this poem, "The cup runneth over." This boat moves about each leg of its goal, its lines fine and its movement grace, as it navigates each valley and shoal in its quest to complete the race. From the slant of the stern to abreast of the bow, which curves to the depths of the sea, her skin rich and smooth, well oiled and caressed, so she'll be strong and move free. Barely brown in the sun, her planks shine in its light. The prize that she's won is the journey's might. So the inscription I had written in the book was, "It's not about the race or the cup, but what's in the journey that fills them up." And so here's the thing that I wanted to tell you about. I was facilitating a labyrinth walk recently at the Woodland Labyrinth in West Barnstable, And something was said during the sharing at the end that prompted this response from me. We have a lot in common. We may differ in what we think can make things better, but we all want things to get better. My goal for today is to focus on those things that unite us. A local politician whose son had died while serving in the military enjoyed the walk so much that he said he thought it would be great for veterans. So Labyrinth Lives will be offering an opportunity for veterans to walk in community at the Woodland Labyrinth at Meeting House Farm in West Barnstable on Saturday, November 2nd at 11 a.m. There's no charge and light refreshments will be available. That's Saturday, November 2nd, 11 a.m., Meeting House Farm, and RSVP is appreciated to info@meetinghouse.farm with no S on the end.org. Also, there's 2 driveways, so if you enter the driveway on the right of the greenhouse and follow the signs to the labyrinth, at the end of the drive you'll see a little hill, and the labyrinth is at the bottom of the hill. It is a mystery what each of you will wish for in the future. But now, the Fairy of Peace and Hope will grant all your wishes. They always come true in their own time and when they are meant to be.
Thank you, Sue. Those wishes are wonderfully accepted. Thank you for blessing us all there. I love a hummin', a hummin', a hummin', a hummin'. The explanations, that was nice. And I love that American Cup poem. That was beautiful imagery in that. That was gorgeous. And the nicest thing I think you said was looking for what unites us all. So thank you for that. Let's see, Patricia Austin, we've missed you so much. I'm so happy you're here tonight.
Oh, right, I'll go this way. Thank you. Thank you, Donna. I'm Patricia Austin, and I haven't been here for a little while, but here I am. So that's cool. I have 2 poems and what I call a posé, which is a short poetical essay. But in the light of the fact that this theme is mystery, I have a little something I just want to say, because it's a mystery to me. How come we're here and what's going on right now? So there's so much going on. And in that mystery, I think we have the opportunity to come out in a place we've never been, even better than we've ever been. So let's hope that's what happens. But I have to just say that I have to be honest here and say, I just found out something about myself. And it was told to me by a candidate running for Vice President of the United States. And it really surprised me. But I am apparently a childless cat lady who is in the process of destroying this country. And I didn't know that until this was told to me. Wait, I have to be even more clear. I am a miserable childless cat lady in the process of destroying this country. And that was a shock to me because I didn't know I was miserable, but I guess I am. But when I think about it, you know what? I think I kind of sort of understand that, because what we're doing to this earth makes me miserable. I have to admit that. And what we're doing to little creatures like the cats that we dump out in the world and just say, good luck and we'll see you sometime, makes me miserable, I have to say. So maybe I am a miserable cat lady, because they always find me. And that's because these creatures find you because they need you. And this world needs us. Every creature in this world needs us, whether we know it or we don't, including ourselves. We need us and we need each other. And the unity theme, that is perfect. So anyway, we are in an interesting spot right now in the world, and We have 11 days starting tomorrow to see what the rest of our life together is going to be for eternity, it seems. So anyway, I have 2 poems, like I said, and my first poem is Citizenry in the Time of Trauma. Why do we value the rule of law? And why do we care when others ignore? For without it, the powerful step on the poor. Bigoted bullies determine the score. The fatuous, foolish demand even more. Among us, our fallen yield not from abhor. Without rule of law, it's more than a scare. To a frightened democracy, it's clearly a dare. Do we stand up for justice by means of our law, or succumb to the numbness and simply withdraw? Will the call ignite us to decency? Songs of ethical peons wielding sorcery, rendering superfluous despondency, purging our Constitution back to plebeian nobility. And my little posé is We the Cowed. We know we cannot fight the forces that swell within us, so we created the rule of law to mitigate the power of our internal impulses. The primal need to flail in the clutches of our fear disallows any rational override of its power. Unless there are agreed upon consequences. The American rule of law has evolved as we, the people, have evolved into a cherished process of sorting out all the myriad problems and squabbles and various disagreements, a system as diverse and dynamic as our own can elicit. However, the current inclination to limit thought into a narrow range of conceptual thinking only a very few are comfortable espousing is a death knell to this mystical wonder coherently blocking selfish low-level thinking and enabling conclusions that include truth and justice over and above whatever dominating fear is screaming, me, me, me. For over 200 years, America has happily danced among its complications, growing in awareness of the vast reality in which it and the entire world actually exist. We have sorted out science, property, education, and all our other noble and petty collective processes, assured in our minds that we will hash it out to the highest level and achieve collective greater good. Until the few who honestly think they think better than most anyone else have decided to usurp reality and kill all possibilities for the many, while facilitating chaos and hardship that may ultimately kill us all. And the trumpets blast. Project 2025. If ever you wanted to live a life of your own, Vote for it now. If ever you wanted autonomy of body and soul, vote for it now. If ever you wanted liberty to say, I will discover myself in my own time and way. If ever you wanted license to state, I think this. It's my opinion. Safe from dogma redefining your truth. If ever you wanted to partake of free choice, aware of all options, yet fearing none. If ever, if ever, if ever. Vote, vote, vote for your freedom now or forever fall off into sleep where you will rest without peace.
That's a hard act to follow. Patricia, I've missed your passion and your ability to stand up unafraid to talk about what you believe in. And that was a resounding yes out of my mouth. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad to see you back. Oh, and by the way, you're in very good company, you and Taylor Swift. And now we have a witch who's coming up. Let's see what songs. Oh, and she has a familiar. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, we'll wait for you. I can't wait. This is Lee Drescher. So I almost didn't recognize you.
Well, I'm sorry, it's not a mystery. And I'm going to be kind of Halloweeny and ghoulish. The subject of my poem is witch's brew. And I have some witch's brew here, and I have a few things that I'm putting in, like spiders, frogs, and so forth. I'm going to make you a succulent stew. Some will call it witch's brew. What we're adding is carefully sought. Let's see what the goblins brought. How about a frog in a cup of grog? Or maybe a snake baked in a cake? If you need a shot of snot, there's plenty from that lizard we caught. Please don't get grossed out. Nothing like dragon's blood can soothe your gut, carefully drained from a sly old mutt. Snails and cat's claws will add more zest, kept by the crow in his nasty nest. A package of eyeballs and then some green slime will make everything juicy and be sublime. A rotten pumpkin will be divine, along with a swamp hog soaked in brine. Last, don't forget the spiders and snails, which have long been collecting in rusty pails. Have a sip, please do. I hope that you like the venom and goo, for I can assure you, after some of my soup, you'll be high as a kite and knocked for a loop. I hope that was too gruesome. All these wonderful fairies.
Lee, we loved it. Thank you so much. How often do you get to hear the word snot in a poem? You know, I mean, that was wonderful. Please send me the recipe, okay? All right, next, our Limerick man, John Jackson.
Good evening. Okay, it's been 2 months or so since the last show we did. As you may recall, my name's John Jackson. I do limericks of protest. I do topical limericks, and there's been about 2 months' worth of news. But I had a real taste of something I've known all along in the past couple of days, winnowing out from the last 2 months' worth of limericks, that political humor has a very short half-life in many cases. But as Patricia just told us, there is this election coming up, which means next month I'll have something entirely different to talk about. Going back to August, Massachusetts has towns that delight us, but some have mosquitoes that bite us. So at dusk, do not tarry, for some of them carry Eastern equine encephalitis. Dad gave me a new BB gun. I don't recall asking for one. Paper targets and plinking, but what was he thinking? An AR-15 is more fun. Now, crazy cat people. I wonder if Donald regrets saying illegals are eating our pets. One thing I know, he'll never eat crow, but he'll eat the hamburgers he gets. Yes, hamburgers are back in the news. Two-party is falling apart, we need something new and more hearty. Freshness is required, pajama party is tired. Let's bring back the Tupperware party. He wants to be women's protector, which sets off my BS detector. While women are sleeping, their watch he'll be keeping. He learned that from Hannibal Lecter. Jimmy Carter has reached a full century. As ex-presidents go, he's potentially the absolute greatest, contrast with the latest, potentially bound for penitentiary. 25 million illegals drive out us American eagles from our housing, by God. But we live on Cape Cod. We're driven out by the seagulls. Illegals, he says, have bad genes. Blood poison. We know what that means. The party displays an affinity Caucasian. They'd enforce it. Don't give them the means. It must have brought tears to his eyes. They let him serve burgers and fries. The old violator at the friolator, like Harris never did, Donald lies. Back in the audience, I think I've just broken Patricia. Hang on, Patricia, it gets worse. The candidate's mind in the gutter. His campaign is all bluster and sputter. Serving up fries, he's in awe of the size of the late Arnold Palmer's putter. As an aside, I would have come up with a third McDonald's-themed limerick, but I couldn't come up with a third rhyme for E. coli. The candidates whose highlighted quotes cast doubts on elections denotes citizens need protection from unfair elections, or they simply don't have enough votes. Every 4 years, democracy calls to decide who will walk White House walls. Don't like Trump or Harris? The pair to compare is Senator Vance and Governor Walz. He has certainly proven the brashest, but the latest assessment's the rashest. He's loud, rude, and smelly, and General John Kelly says his old boss is a fascist. So, the topic for the month is mystery. Why politics have gotten so blistery isn't that much of a mystery. Trump's term repeated, or by Harris defeated. Either way, it will be history. The other mystery is, where is my lovely and talented bride? She's at home on the couch. Last Friday, she had an operation to remove a small sliver of bone from her heel, correcting a problem with her Achilles tendon without touching the Achilles tendon at all. Works quite well, but she's not here. The post-op instructions, they said, keep her toes at the height of her head. This by design meant horizontal confinement, or 2 weeks of breakfast in bed. Thank you, and Ellen, I love you.
John, please give our best to Ellen. Ellen, I hope you're happy and at ease, and I hope the breakfasts are wonderful. The mystery, of course, for John Jackson is, what will he write limericks about in November? I don't know. We'll find out. Wayne Stuck is here, and he's our musical entertainment for the night. And I'm so happy that he's here with his guitar.
It's not that I left this song to the end, but I did. Just finished it about 2 hours ago. I had one already written, and I didn't like it, so I tore up the first page, and I wrote another one. I do this all the time. My wife left for New Hampshire at 2:30 in the afternoon. She couldn't take it anymore. She went to somebody else's house. My daughter's. Oh, well. Anyway. It's getting close. Am I close enough to this mic? I don't know if I am. I can't tell. I think I'll put it a little closer. Okay. All right. So here it is. Well, it's here again. Election time. Sea to shining sea. How America became ungrates. A mystery to me. Weak nations still cry out for help when trying to stay free. Immigrants seek asylum here when violence and poverty. It's the leading democracy for over 2 centuries. But lately we've been fed a load of crap. Like we fall apart. Symptoms immigrants. Liberals, most women who adopt. Much freedom, not enough babies on their lap. Our borders overrun. Too dark for whites like you and me. Too much money spent on our allies, fighting for oppression versus too much on homeless benefits and poor families unlike us. So let's vote. Choice number 1. First choice number 2. Male 78. May mentally challenged. Out of shape big time. Uneducated. Has concepts that rhyme. Female 60. Mentally adept. Physically fit. Highly educated. Has specific plans. So let's look back for 4 to 8 years to analyze the benefits. Trump returning to make our nation great again. 4 years brought women to tears. Back the court, women's health for next 50 years. When COVID came, millions died, a cure out of reach. Your response, no mask for me. How about a bleach? I'll put recent onslaught of immigrants in camps. Then I'll deport them back way across the fence. I'll be begging for domestic oil. And I'll get immigrants from Haiti out of Ohio. I tried to stop the crowd attacking Congress, but they were very special people. Love and peace demo for the USA. Many sick folks not voting for me had to be corralled. Harris, she's mentally disabled. Something missing that goal. For property crime, I'd call out attack squads. Lots of immigrants have got bad genes, like equal to murder. I have a love relationship with some dictators, if you know what I mean. No mask for me, it takes off my makeup. Sang with Capitol prisoners on Capitol Records, with a song called Justified. Justified for all. All Maggie migrants, rapists,
murderers and thugs. Lost to Biden will cause World War II. Isn't that scary enough? Well, it's here again, it's election time. From sea to shining sea, how America's ungreat mystery is revealed to me. Weak nations still cry out for help when trying to stay free. Immigrants seek asylum when fleeing violence and poverty. It's the leading democracy for over 2 centuries. But lately we've been fed a load of crap, like we're all gonna fall apart. Symptoms, it's the immigrants and the liberals, why not?
A bit winded.
Thank you, Wayne. I hope you have time to tape that for Manny.
I will.
Awesome, awesome. I'd like to see it get out on the airs as well as FCTV, yeah, to a lot of people. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Well, holy schmoly, our time is up for this edition of Poetic License on FCTV. I have one more poem. Ever since my fall this summer, actually, ever since I was a little girl, I've always thought about this mystery, which is, how does the body know to heal itself? It's, you know, whether you skin your knee or have some other major trauma like I did, how does the body know to heal? We've got the doctors, the surgeons, the nurses, you know, the PTs, the OTs, and all of that. But how does the body know? So I wrote a poem, and it took me a while to write it. It's called My Brilliant Body. My brilliant body. The black and white image of my shattered shoulder shows a lunar landscape filled with debris and a 3-way splayed fracture like a fork in a bone-white road. I know red blood cells, like tiny scarlet cushions, float through my veins, bulk up with oxygen to build new tissue. Collagen scaffolds the new tissue, and reconstruction begins. The humerus accepts a new ball and socket, slowly marries them to form a bionic bond. The muscle tissue, like a red-headed Rapunzel, lets down her long locks in a miracle of knitted braids. The doctor had decorated my upper arm with a seam of black staples, stitched like iridescent pearls along the wound's edge. And the epithelium smooths and dissolves into a seamless hem. This innate intelligence of my brilliant body whispers at the molecular level. Heal. Hey, thank you. Tonight's edited performance will be on FCTV's Channel 6, also streamed on the FCTV website, on YouTube, as well as via Roku and Apple TV. And friends out there, If you would like to be a performer on Poetic License, won't you please, please join us? The next Poetic License is Thursday, November 21st. The suggested theme will be the glass half full. And a heads up about the future, the theme for December 19th will be peace and joy. You can sign up to be a performer by sending a text to our wonderful producer, Tony Sedera. His email is tony@fctv.org. Or you can simply come to the studio here on Dillingham Ave the night of the performance, 6 o'clock sharp. You can be an audience member and enjoy us while we perform. Thank you again, Tony, for your wonderful producing and editing. Thanks to our illustrious camera crew. And thank you, performers. How kind of you to share your time and talents with us all. I guess that means our time is up. So until we meet again, peace and shine on, everybody.